Hey everybody, welcome to Everyday Journey. Bet you can't guess what I'm about to do. As you can see, dragging that thing around, I need some wheels on it. I've got a really small space to work with and a lot of crap in here. And best thing you can have is mobility if you don't have a lot of room. So I'm going to go ahead and mount some wheels on this thing. I've already measured the base of it here. If you can see, this is actually the wide part, and it's about, well, we're going to say 27 inches. And then deep is the more narrow, and it's only about 23 inches. So I've got some scrap plywood. I'm about to cut it to shape, cut it to size, and we're going to go ahead and mount some wheels on it. I got some old cheap ones. I think they're about $6 a piece, something like that, at the Harbor Freight. They don't have to be anything special. I'm not going to be using them that much, just enough to move this thing around a few feet here and there in the shop. So I'll show you what I'm about to do. Alright, you probably can't see it very well, but my line's right here, and then right here. I'm keeping one of these two pieces. I'll measure it again in a sec, make sure. Safety glasses first. Alright, time for the dry fit. Now, one of the things I'm looking at with this is the fact that this thing is cheap. It doesn't actually have any metal at the bottom. It just has these hard rubber pieces that fit over it. There is a hole that's in there. That's going to have to be good enough to actually hold it to this plywood. Because really gravity is going to hold it down, so that'll just keep it from shifting on the plywood. Looks like it's about right this way. Let's see. Yeah. I'll just put it this way to see about the other side. So that looks about right. It's going to stick over just a little bit on each side. No big deal. Now we got to mount our wheels to it. Here's what I end up getting. I got these here, which are just swivel casters. Well, they're just swivel casters, and they lock. That way, if I'm using it, I can actually lock it where it needs to go. These look to be about, they say 3-inch polyurethane swivel caster with brake. 121 pound rating. And then this right here, which is just doesn't pivot or anything. Same thing, 120 pounds. So I mean, this whole thing probably doesn't weigh, but you know, 100 pounds or so. Between 4 wheels, we got it made. Of course, there's no actual bearings to this. It's just polyurethane. But I'm not going to be moving a lot, so it won't really matter. The way I'm going to do this is actually going to put the casters in what I would consider the front, which is the part where you'll actually be cutting, and then put the non-casters in the back. So we want to try to space these out as far to the sides as we can, because, well, the wider the stance, the better it's going to sit. But I think I want to go ahead and cut out some, I don't know, maybe some 1x or something to go across this for these to mount to, just to make it a little more sturdy. Alright, as you can see, I've got these. They're a little thicker than 1x. Scrap material. It came from an old couch that I actually took apart. Wouldn't recommend that. Take apart a couch for scrap material, you pretty much don't get anything usable out of it. I'm going to use these drywall screws. Got a lot of them here. Actually came from a deal where I bought almost everything a guy was selling in a garage sale. Few tools, but a lot of things like screws and a cart and everything else for like $60. Couldn't pass that up. So these will work. They're going to hold it together. You can see there's a bow in this plywood. So I'm actually going to put 2 screws over here from the underside, and then flip this thing over, and then go ahead and screw the rest of them down, and hopefully that will. And I'm going to go keep screwing them down along this length right here, so that we'll go ahead and pull that bow out of it and attach it good to these boards. So go ahead and grab our trusty screw gun. Part of the other reason why I'm using these is because they're short enough not to go all the way through. That'll hold that side. this thing around. Go ahead and do this side. Now let's go ahead and flip it over and do the rest. Like I said, whichever side I started on, that's the side I'm going to keep putting screws all the way down. And I'm just going to kind of alternate them. Let's flip it around and do the other side. The whole reason why you want to alternate these like this is just to help keep the wood from splitting underneath. Because typically the grain is running with the length of the wood, so put all the screws in the same place, you can end up splitting it. There we go. There's that. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this at the top. We're going to mount the wheels to this part. Again, there doesn't have to be anything special about this. Only one thing we have to worry about at all is that we make sure the head of our screw is big enough that it doesn't go through here. These will work, but they're not very sturdy. And of course it goes right through, so we would have to use some type of washer. Alright, found these 2.5 inch prime guard 10 exterior screws. Crap I got around the garage. They're too long, so I'm actually going to have to cut them off. I wanted to spread these out, but the problem with that is that I actually need to put a screw down through here, a bolt or something to hold the saw to this. So we're actually going to put them about right here. This is about 2 inches from the edge. Right here I've already marked and pre-drilled the holes on this one. In the process of doing the same with all the other ones. And then we'll go ahead and screw it down. And once we do, we're going to have to actually cut the ends off of this just to keep it from keep it from being dangerous. So let's see what this looks like. Well, she's tight. Do the same thing with this one. Go ahead and screw it down. I still haven't drilled the other ones yet, so we'll do that in a minute. As you can see, we got wheels. We also have some extra long screws sticking out of it. So let's go ahead and get the grinder out and we'll cut those off real quick. Alright, whenever I want to make things pretty, I make things pretty. This is not one of those things. This is just to work. So we're going to go ahead and put this thing up on top of here. As you can see though, it rolls around everywhere, so we're going to go ahead and lock these. Looks like it's on there good. Now gravity will hold that on there, but you can't always trust gravity. So we'll go ahead and mark our holes now. Alright, here's the hole. Go ahead and mark it. I'm going to go ahead and mark the other ones too. Then I'm going to take this back off of here and drill it out and find a bolt that will fit in there. Alright, going ahead and taking the feet off of the table saw or the bandsaw there. These right here are what I'm going to use. And drill the holes a little bit smaller and go ahead and mount them on there, and then I will put the put this drill or the bandsaw into the feet after they're mounted on here. It's just the easiest way to do it. I'll get it most of the way down to where it's just barely touching. That way if I need to move these around a little bit, I can. Beat on all four corners and then see what it does.
That's the fun part.
Let's see how well it works. Right now it doesn't move that much. And now I can wheel it wherever I need it to go. Alright guys, as you can see, that was pretty difficult to put on there. But now I can move this thing around with one hand. So hopefully you guys, if you do the same thing, hopefully you learn from what I did. Maybe learn what not to do. But hopefully you get some enjoyment out of this video, learn something useful. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good day.